Coming up next, it's Oh Canada, followed by Late Night Black and White on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Late Night Black and White, followed by Boomerang on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's the Chuck Jones Show, followed by the Tex Avery Show on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's the Tex Avery Show on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Toonheads on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Captain Planet, followed by Max Steel on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Max Steel on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Zoids, followed by Ed, Edd and Eddy on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Ed, Edd and Eddy, followed by the Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Dexter's Laboratory, followed by Baby Looney Tunes on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Baby Looney Tunes, followed by Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Hamtaro, followed by Scooby Universe on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Scooby Universe, followed by the Flintstones on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Tom and Jerry, followed by Acme Hour on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Johnny Bravo on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Max Steel, followed by Toonami on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Toonami on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Courage the Cowardly Dog on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Dexter's Laboratory on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's the Powerpuff Girls on Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's Pokemon, followed by Yu-Gi-Oh! On Cartoon Network.
Coming up next, it's the Flintstones on Cartoon Network. Coming up next, it's Tom and Jerry, followed by Toonami Midnight Run on Cartoon Network.